So mine, we were just talking about this a little bit about the land bank houses or the houses before they go to land bank. And I was inquiring about, do y'all have the first right of refusal? And you didn't think that was a good idea for y'all to do.
So right now we got about 1,700 parcels that the city owns. We don't need to own property. You know, unless it's being used for city business. So those are all tax dollars that could go somewhere else. We're not in the business of that. So that's why I'm saying, so when you talk about a first right of refusal, but also like I mentioned, when the last auction happened, everything went.
So you're talking about the county auction,
the county auction,
everything,
right?
Because
so
everything's hot right now.
Everything's hot in Highland. I mean, you know, I got partners that's putting together houses that can't keep them on the market, and they going for the 200,000 and the 190s and the 220. So
250, 260.
And Highland Park.
It's pushing the three.
Let's say that back. They're going for 200 and up in Highland Park.
200 and up. You know, so
don't let the media fool y'all.
Don't
or them YouTube videos fool y'all.
Yeah, that's
but it makes sense
We're gonna hold
though,
this one back. I don't want everybody to jump in there until we get our stuff together.
But as far as like, we have so many things we need to be concentrating on that, to me, that shouldn't be a focus.
Right.
for the city.
For the city.
Gotcha.
Well,
Because, you know, and we have, so now we got a new charter in 2019. So any residential structures we have got to go to auction anyway. So, you know, you
it has to?
Yeah.
So y'all don't have the first right of refusal.
So listen, any house, any residential structures that the city owns goes to auction. So even before first right of refusal, so we have some structures. Most of them are lots.
Okay.
But our structures go to auction. Auctions cost, and, you know, and we want them on the tax roll.
Facts. But
So in other words, I just want to be clear for our audience. So any city-owned residential property, Highland Park has its own auction for those properties.
Yes.
Right.
Has it happened? No.
Right.
But that is the plan.
They have the right to have their own auction, right?
No, it's not the right. We can't sell residential structures outside of an auction.
So it has to go through
It
an
has to
auction
go
process.
through auction process.
Right. It just hasn't happened yet.
Right. Okay.
So it's coming.
So
No. Well, he's saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
he said one important thing, and this is what we was talking about with Detroit and the land bank. He said it's not in the best interest of the city to get involved with real estate sales, because then you got to create a department for that. You got staffing. It just makes sense to get them off your books, right, and back into the taxpayers' hands.
Especially where we at right now. So, like I say, our inventory is way more than what we need, and then so now we got to maintain these jokers and everything else, you know. So, and if you look at, so we got the county land bank there, we got the state land bank there, and then we got our properties. That's like a third of the properties is public.
Yeah.
So we're no tax dollars.
I get it.
So right now, just even talking about taking, now if it was maybe a commercial spot that the city could use for something, maybe, but like for residential structures, So when you don't do that, you don't have control. So just because they sold don't mean y'all getting tax dollars. Yes, we are.
No? Yeah, I mean, you talking about the money from the sale, but when
he
the
said
money from the sales. That's one thing I'm talking about.
You talking about the people that's coming in and buying them and the house?
Yeah, then they got to pay property taxes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna pay it.
That's what. Yeah. But
well, no.
Then they get taken away.
Correct. So that's my point. The same thing happened in Detroit. So hear what I'm saying. So when you do that, you don't just be. I mean, if everything was perfect in a perfect world, yes, y'all sold them. You get your money from the sale, and the people that bought them come in and do the right thing, and they pull the permits, they pay the taxes, they do what they're supposed to do to revitalize the community. We've seen that in Detroit. That's not always the case.
But
right?
and it happens more often than it doesn't.
I wouldn't agree with that. And we have to get some stats on that, but I'm going to say
we're going
no.
to get some stats.
Because you got to remember, people buying houses you got to think about who buying houses. So there's the only thing you have to have. What's the criteria for buying a house?
But what's the alternative to an individual buying it and getting billed for taxes versus the city owning it and not even having an opportunity to collect property taxes?
I'm about to tell you. So so I've been part of a program like this in a few communities in Taylor, Romulus, where else?
Dearborn Heights, I think.
Dearborn Heights.
I know you have some at Allen Park.
Some at Allen Park.
Yeah.
Also. It was huge. The program that they took was huge in revitalizing Taylor before the market was changed.
Right.
He was bringing the market back in Taylor before the market was actually coming back based on this program.
Was it like an NSP program? Like the stabilization program?
No.
It was just...
Yeah. I was about to say, it's just basically a developer coming in and saying, I have the assets to be able to do this, so give me the first right to do it.
Yeah. Well, think about it. He's purchasing the property from the city. Mm-hmm. So he's paying the taxes.
Right.
He's pulling all the permits that he has to pull. He has to, in order to do the work properly. And then he's selling all these houses at the highest values possible.
Yeah, but that kind of cuts out some of the individual homeowners. You kind of don't.
So here's the good thing. But that's my point. That's the other potential benefit. You have the first right of refusal. So we're talking about building from within the community. How those people gonna get those houses? Because they're competing against individuals. They're competing against us.
Right.
So they don't have the money to compete against an investor.
There's some legalities involved in that, man.
100%.
Yeah. So those, like, again, where we're at, that's not in the best interest.
I got you.
We got other things we need to do.
Yeah, I think the
move
disconnect is, okay, so maybe potentially Shaka is saying, so there may be a person that comes in and for the so a community like Highland Park or parts of the North End or wherever, they have all this dilapidated property. Now you have a person coming in and saying, okay, look, we're gonna make sure all the basics are brand new and safe. So you got your furnace, your water tank, your plumbing, your electrical, your roof. All these things are going to be brand new. And so we get those basics in, then we start doing the cosmetics. And now the people that are going to come in here and buy the property, so now it's already off of the city's tax roll. This person is also paying the taxes, but they are also stabilizing this property to a standard that and then it has to, and when it goes for resale, now the person coming in, they're probably going to be working class. They have the ability to pay. They're a stable person to help stabilize.
So that means you got a bank involved.
That's a homeowner. No, you don't have a bank involved.
Then how you gonna get the mortgage?
What are you talking about?
So for a program like that, so you say you're a developer, you come in, let's say you take 5 homes, you say, okay, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z to these homes. Then we're gonna sell them to somebody. How the people gonna get the money? They're gonna need to get a mortgage, right?
Yeah, that's random.
So then that's who?
It's random. Like, so are you saying?
So what I'm saying is, so you need a lender that's going to be a partner in this and say, hey, okay, we will. Yes, you do.
Well, how you going to
get the mortgages?
Through the bank.
I think y'all missing his point.
He said everybody going
y'all missing his point.
Yeah.
Because when the homes are renovated and they go on the market, right? It already has to be a value there. It has to. The homes have to be. If people are going to buy them at market rate, they have to appraise. Highland Park is just not getting to that point where you can say, okay, I put $80,000 into this home. It's going to make sense to sell it for $160 or $200. Before, Highland Park didn't have those values
because
to
they didn't have this program. So neither did Taylor, neither did Romulus.
We had
you're comparing apples to oranges there. In terms of the community.
I think the point where
you can't compare apples to oranges because we're talking about the values of that area.
Well, you got to listen to, I guess, what Councilman Clyburn is saying. And so I get what you're saying. You're basically saying, okay, a person comes in here and does this work. Let's say if it was in 2010, and now you got this 3,000 square foot house, or let's say 2,400 square foot house that's been completely renovated that probably should sell for, I don't know, $255 or something. But now there's no other house to compare, so the bank won't loan the money.
But it shouldn't be at $255. They don't have that value.
Exactly. So
but here's the thing too, though.
Right.
That has happened, and it didn't work.
Yeah, but that's the
Who's to say that that's going to work again? Plus, it goes back to what I just said earlier. We are not. I mean, we're not there. It's things that we need to do right now to tighten up what we have. We got 1,700 parcels. You think we want to add to that? No.